Hard to believe, but it's playoff baseball time. The Red Sox and Yankees are in a one-game wild card. To talk about that, we're joined by NESN's Tom Caron, Lewiston's own, and, by the way, newly minted member of the Maine Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that, TC.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that.
Listen, we started this season with very low expectations for the Boston Red Sox. How did we get here?
Yeah, it's been such a roller coaster, hasn't it? I mean, if you go back to February and you just said this team would make the playoffs and beat a one-game wild card with the Yankees, you'd have thought that was an incredibly successful season. But then if you went to the 4th of July when they had a 4.5-game lead over the entire division, this would look at as a disappointment. But I will say this. If the Red Sox can beat the Yankees tonight, eliminate them from the playoffs, I think we will, no matter what happens, we will all universally agree this has been a great year.
I think that's right. You know, and it's funny, too, the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry seems to have lost a little bit of its luster in recent years. Maybe it's because after 2004, the pressure wasn't still there. Do you think that's what that is?
Yeah, when the nail finally hit the hammer back after being years of on the receiving end of that rivalry, it did dim a little bit. But you remember 2018 when they won the game at Fenway Park, the Yankees left with Aaron Judge playing New York, kind of trolling the Red Sox as he went by their clubhouse. And then the Red Sox went down to Yankee Stadium and won those games. I think it came back a little bit. It'll be back tonight. The Red Sox tell me that this far exceeds the demand for tickets they had, even in that 2018 series. The secondary market, the ticket prices are going through the roof. Anybody who has a little change left after the Sunday night game at Gillette Stadium is spending it on tonight's game. So.
Yeah, it's quite a week, an embarrassment of riches for New England sports fans. Let's talk a little bit about tonight's matchup. How do these teams match up with each other?
They match up pretty well because they're both flawed. Neither team is perfect. They have the same number of wins, obviously. The cool thing about tonight's game, Pat, is that it's not often that this wild card game features the best pitcher from each team. A lot of times you have to use up those pitchers at the end of the season to get here. But in this case, you have Garrett Cole for the Yankees, Nate Eovaldi for the Red Sox. They're going to finish in the top 3 in the American League Cy Young Award voting. So you've got two of the best pitchers in the game going head-to-head. They've got history against each other. Both teams have questionable defenses behind them. Both teams are dealing with injuries. J.D. Martinez is going to be out. That's a big blow for the Red Sox. He hurt himself Sunday. DJ LeMahieu, one of the best players for the Yankees, is going to be out. But that's where you are. You're at the end of the season. I think the matchup comes down to two guys for the Yankees. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton did a number on them about 10 days ago when they were at Fenway Park. But if you can keep those two guys in check, you can pitch around the rest of the lineup. The Red Sox may not have those two guys, but they've got a deeper lineup that can be a little tougher to navigate. Rafael Devers has been hot. He could be the guy to watch for the Red Sox.
This has got to be pretty satisfying for Red Sox manager Alex Cora.
No doubt. He paid his price last year, paid a one-game suspension, was real emotional Sunday when they clinched. Talk about what his family had gone through, what this means to him. You know, it's interesting because Aaron Boone, who was a big part of this rivalry back in 2003, hit the home run at Yankee Stadium, is the manager now of the Yankees. He and Cora worked together at ESPN in between their baseball careers after playing and before managing. So they're pretty close. And there were a lot of people in New York calling for Boone to be fired this year. So both of these managers have been through a lot to get here. One of them will be vindicated tonight.
There are a lot of Red Sox fans with long memories. Some of us are old enough to remember 1978 and another one-game playoff. Somehow the stakes don't seem quite as high maybe this time.
Maybe not. Well, I don't know. We'll see how tonight plays out because I think it will be in a lot of ways because, again, you're sending your rival home. But 1978 was such an epic game. I don't know that it would live in our memories if it wasn't for the fact that game, Bucky Dent, who was the last guy expected to hit a home run, he hit a 3-run home run. Jerry Remy would have been the hero of the game, but somehow Lou Piniella in the shadows kind of reached his glove out and got it and kept it to a single instead of a double, which would have changed the entire outcome of the game. Yaz at the plate at the end of the game, facing one of the great closers in the game, popping out with men on second and third. I mean, it was an epic game. I think if tonight's game lives up to the game itself, then we'll be talking about this one for a long time.
All right. TC, you got a prediction for tonight?
I'm saying Red Sox 5-4. I covered this team all year, and they find a way to win. Somehow the sum is better than the individual parts they have on that roster. I think it's going to come down to who makes the fewest mistakes. Again, Red Sox had the second worst fielding percentage of any defense in baseball. Yankees were fourth worst. So errors are probably going to come into play tonight. Whoever can limit that damage comes out ahead, and I think it'll be the Red Sox.
Tom Caron, great to see you as always. Take care.
Good to see you, Pat. Thank you.